6 months after a fateful quest, Novice finds himself at the sinister Vampire Academy. Surrounded by bloodthirsty students, his righteous heart struggles with their brutal lessons. Rewind 6 months, we see Novice, the righteous adventurer, leading his party to rescue merchants from a bandit ambush. His familiar, Chippy, powers him up. Novice unleashes his incredible speed, swiftly dispatching the bandits. True to his creed, he refuses to kill their leader, upholding his way of justice and mercy. Novice is hailed as a hero, but his past haunts him. He remembers a burning village, the king granting the system, and his own oath to protect humanity. Back in the present, Novice is a powerful level 35 system user. Driven by his code, he picks up a low-reward missing person quest at the Duskwatch Guild Hall. Despite the danger, Novice's loyal party, including Sly, insists on joining him. They learn the missing brother vanished into the perilous Chlorift caves. Novice makes the difficult decision to retrieve the brother's body. The party enters the ominous Chlorift caves, unaware of the true horror that awaits them. Deep within the caves, Novice senses a presence. A monstrous hand lunges from the shadows, striking Sly. Novice's eyes glow with a terrifying, bloodthirsty rage. Deep within the Chlorift caves, Novice and his party are ambushed. His friend Sly is gravely injured, and Novice's eyes glow with a terrifying, bloodthirsty rage. Grant fights in the darkness, but Novice unleashes his accelerate skill, vowing to protect his friends and defeat the monstrous humanoids that surround them. Novice activates another skill, and Stefan uses illuminate to reveal their foes, but Novice is disturbed. These monsters look unsettlingly human. Novice hesitates, but Grant pushes forward. Suddenly, a powerful vampire lord appears, effortlessly shattering Stefan's staff and changing the entire battle. The vampire lord mocks their weakness. Novice and Grant stand united, Novice conjuring a barrier, but the vampire lord's power is overwhelming, defeating Grant. With Grant defeated, Novice screams in fury. He commands Chip to unleash everything, ready to sacrifice himself to protect his remaining friends from the terrifying foe. Novice unleashes his full power, but he's overwhelmed by the monsters. The vampire lord seizes him, delivering a fatal bite, completing Novice's terrifying transformation. Novice collapses while Sly struggles nearby. But Novice rises, screaming DIE, unleashing an impossible surge of magical power that even the vampire lord cannot comprehend. Novice awakens in a terrifying nightmare, haunted by the vampire lord's words and the gruesome fate of his friends, Sly and the others. He's consumed by guilt. The dream blurs with reality as Novice screams in despair, seeing his own monstrous reflection. He clutches his head, trying to comprehend the horror of his new existence. Flashbacks of the attack flood Novice's mind. He calls out to Chip, only to find his system navigator transformed into a small, demonic creature. A system warning flashes, confirming Novice's worst fears. His race is now error and his stats are reset, a terrifying consequence of the vampire lord's bite. Despite his own ordeal, Novice is determined to find his fallen comrades, Sly and the others. But after hours of searching, only a bloody hand reminds him of their grim fate. Novice questions if the monsters were once human when suddenly the sun's rays burn him. His system glitches, revealing a new, horrifying vulnerability to sunlight. Panicked, Novice and Chip scramble for cover, desperate to escape the scorching sun. They find temporary refuge, but Novice's new vampiric nature is undeniable. A new quest appears: consume human blood. Novice is horrified, but the sight of a fresh corpse and the sweet scent of blood awaken a primal urge within him. Novice stares at the fresh corpse, urging him to as the drink. Primal urge, engulfed in horrified by what he almost became searing pain. Far from over his, urging him to as the drink. Sun rises, engulfed in horrified by what he almost became searing pain. His system glitching with a terrifying new vulnerability to sunlight. Seeking refuge, Novice smells blood from a nearby village. The system demands he consume it, forcing him to hit himself to resist the overwhelming bloodlust, fearing what he might do to innocent people. Regain Kinate lol monstrous level 5 bore, forcing him to hit attacks. Overwhelming Novice, only level 1, what he might do to is innocent people forced to fight for his life, his new powers pushing him to move faster than ever. With incredible speed and a powerful punch, Novice defeats the beast. But this unnatural strength only deepens his confusion. Where is this power coming from? The scent of blood intensifies and Novice grapples with the system's control. He desperately wants to stop these dark thoughts, but the temptation to drink the boar's blood grows stronger. Overwhelmed by the system's demands and his own bloodlust, Novice trembles, screaming for it to leave his head. He considers a terrifying solution to end the torment. Suddenly, a kind woman approaches, asking if he's okay. Novice turns, his eyes glowing red, seeing her as nothing more than a pulsing, vulnerable source of blood. Novice is consumed by bloodlust, fighting the urge to attack the kind woman, Sandra. Sandra offers a healing potion. His vampiric senses ignite, making him acutely aware of her pulsing blood. His vampiric senses ignite, but it only harms Novice, forcing him to push her away. Moments later, he's caught in a trap, yet his heroic instinct to protect still drives him to action. Overwhelmed by his heightened senses, Novice is suddenly attacked and knocked out. He awakens imprisoned in a bandit camp, his bloodlust dangerously increasing. Cruel Novice is smirk on suddenly Sandra's face attacked and confirms his knocked worst out fears. She's a camp traitor. Dangerously Novice watches in increasing horror as she ruthlessly attacks his unconscious party members. Plagued by regret for his past choices, Novice is mocked by the bandit leader, Kuna. His friend lies dying, coughing blood, his life slipping away. As his bloodlust surges, Novice's dying friend begs him for revenge. Faced with an impossible choice, Novice gives in, his fangs extending as he bites his comrade. Consuming his friend's blood, Novice experiences his final memories, witnessing Sandra's brutal betrayal. He stands over the drained body, realizing the true monsters were the humans all along. Quest complete, Novice levels up, his bloodlust embraced. With glowing red eyes, he vows to kill them all, unlocking the terrifying new skill, Blood Claws. Adventurers Kaylin and Alara head into the forest, unaware of the danger. Meanwhile, the cruel bandit Mara taunts their prisoner. Mara Dunhern opens Simmerhelm, who is bruised and beaten. Mara opens Dunhern's cage, but it's a fatal mistake. Novice, now a vampire, strikes with terrifying speed, leaving Mara a bloody mess and Dunhern horrified. Embracing his new bloodlust, Novice unleashes his terrifying blood claws. He tears through the bandit camp, a whirlwind of death, leaving a trail of bodies and gaining experience. Novice stands victorious, but his moment is interrupted by the bandit leader, a familiar face from his past. The leader attacks, proving a formidable opponent even for the newly powered Novice. The bandit leader's overwhelming power leaves Novice reeling, taking heavy damage. He realizes this fight is far more desperate than he anticipated. Pushed to the brink, Novice activates his blood claws. Sacrificing his own life force, he unleashes a devastating counterattack, making the bandit leader cough blood. The bandit leader reveals a shocking truth: the guild is corrupt. Novice is shattered, realizing his past heroism was a lie and he's been fighting for the wrong reasons. Chip reminds Novice that drinking blood regenerates him. Torn between his humanity and his vampiric nature, Novice grapples with the monstrous power he now wields. Accepting his new reality, Novice makes a brutal choice. He drains the bandit leader, consuming his blood and unlocking terrifying new skills, feeling an addictive surge of power. Just as Novice fully embraces his monstrous power, Alara arrives, witnessing his blood-soaked transformation. Her horrified gaze meets his glowing red eyes. Alara flees in terror, screaming a warning. Novice, his hands drenched in blood, despairs over his monstrous transformation. But despite his turmoil, he resolves to master his new, terrifying system. But Duskwatch, despite his guild hall turmoil, friends, system, including Park, worry about his prolonged absence. Meanwhile, the arrogant Taxon makes his grand entrance. Taxon immediately boasts about his strength, claiming the top spot in Novice's absence. Unique and terrifying system, but Taxon only laughs. While guild members express their doubts about Taxon, a drenched in blood, fleeting Novice, but despite his reflex in a turmoiled drink, unique and terrifying system. Deep in the forest, Novice consumes blood from fallen foes. He discovers different blood types grant unique resistances, rapidly powering up his vampiric abilities. Novice continues to train relentlessly at Winklaw Hollow, his HP growing, allowing him to survive longer under the sun and without blood. He levels up, mastering his blood system. Haunted by what she witnessed, Alara finally reveals the horrifying truth to her guildmates. Shaking with fear, she describes Novice, transformed with glowing red eyes and an insatiable hunger for blood. Novice, now a vampire, finds himself in a dark cave surrounded by monstrous bird creatures. He unleashes his system's power, swiftly cutting down his foes. His blood claw skill is devastating, but Novice discovers a disturbing truth: the system rewards him far more for human blood than monster kills. Suddenly, rewards him far more for sunlight human blood than pierces the cavern monts, weakening Novice. His vampiric nature makes him vulnerable, a harsh reality he must overcome. Activates but blood Novice claw the enemies. This human blood then gruesome act monster kills restores his strength, a terrifying but necessary power. His impish familiar sword tempts him with the easier path, but Novice, clutching his sword, reaffirms his commitment to his old ideals. With renewed resolve, Novice charges, slicing through the remaining monsters. He stands victorious, but the battle within still rages. Novice grapples with his new identity, haunted by visions of his monstrous hunger. Then his system presents a shocking choice: new class options. After his last battle, Novice is presented with shocking new class options: Night Warrior, Blood Manipulator, and Scarlet Spellbinder. Which path will he choose? As a former paladin, Novice is initially leans presented with towards the Night shocking new warrior. Aligns with his sword Night Warrior fighting expertise and past training. But his system guide, Chip, strongly pushes for the Blood Manipulator class, reminding Novice of his past successes and earned trust. Trusting Chip, Novice makes his decision, choosing the Blood Manipulator class, unaware of the true consequences that await him. The system activates, transforming Novice and granting him incredible new powers, including the devastating Blood/Slash skill. Novice receives a flood of notifications, revealing his vampire body has changed, gaining sun resistance and new ways to manage his blood hunger. But the system's final quests reveal a terrifying truth. Novice must consume blood within 24 hours or face a severe penalty. Suddenly, Chip's sinister smirk confirms Novice's worst fears. His trusted guide reveals his true, monstrous form, mocking Novice's naive trust. With his world shattered, Novice resolves to uncover the truth behind his infected system and Chip's shocking betrayal. The guild is in turmoil. Taxon boldly declares himself the new leader, asserting his strength. But Paladin Park stands firm, reminding everyone that true leadership is about more than just power. Park challenges Taxon to a duel for leadership. Taxon, with a sinister smirk, readily accepts. The entire town gathers, anticipating the clash in the square. With the crowd watching, Park and Taxon face off. Park launches a swift attack, but Taxon, surprisingly agile, easily dodges the blow, his confidence unwavering. Taxon mocks Park's efforts, then unleashes a flurry of powerful, precise strikes. He declares the game is over, overwhelming Park with brutal efficiency. Park takes a devastating hit, barely avoiding a fatal blow. Taxon stands victorious over the fallen paladin, declaring him scum and leaving him defeated in the dust. Taxon dons a menacing mask, his victory turning into a cruel display of power. He brutally stomps on the defeated Park, asserting his dominance and mocking the idea of a protector. Unable to watch the brutality, a brave blonde woman rushes forward, her face etched with desperate resolve to stop Taxon's merciless assault. But before she can reach him, a mysterious hooded figure appears, halting Taxon's stomp. Taxon glares, demanding to know who dares interrupt him as the figure dramatically reveals his face, ready to teach a lesson.